Check one, two. Hello, Angie here, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you for taking your time to stop by. And if you have been to my channel before, thank you for coming back. I would love it if you would subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you know when I make new videos, like my videos, comment your opinions and your thoughts and feelings, and share this video in case you think someone else may get something from this video. So today I wanted to talk about one of the topics on my mind. I always have topics on my mind. We get together, child. We will not be void of a conversation. I'll just tell you that right now. There's always something on Angie's mind. So today, what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to make this very brief because it's a journey that I have been on a couple of times, but not in the way that I feel that I'm on it right now. The topic I wanted to talk about is body image. As someone who has struggled with my weight since becoming a mom. So, in other words, I wasn't an overweight child or an overweight teenager. I sort of started to gain weight when I was in my early 20s. And it got to a point where I just did not recognize myself at all. And it really truly affected my self esteem. Now, when you're young and you feel self conscious about your body, that can affect a lot of other aspects of you and your life. And it did. It affected me in other aspects of my life. I did find myself struggling to have confidence in areas that I probably should have had the most confidence, and things like that. So today I had a conversation not too long ago about this book that I'm reading. It is called The Body Keeps the Score. I wish I had it right here, but it's actually in my bedroom because it's the book that I read usually when I'm in my downtime. But it's called The Body Keeps the Score. And one of the things that I'm realizing about our bodies is how it remembers the things that it's gone through. And that was a big revelation for me because I had been so focused on how my body looked, the scale, how clothes fit or didn't fit, and things like that, that I never took time to consider what my body was actually doing for me and has done for me. I've been through a lot of things in my life, and survival mode is sort of a space where you just do what you need to do to survive. And so there was a time in my life because of um, traumas, we'll say that, because I don't want to really get into all those details right now, that one of the main ways that I responded to those traumas was comfort eating. I learned to let food make me feel better. And so the problem with that is not only what you eat to make yourself feel better, but it's how much you eat to make yourself feel better and how active you are or aren't, okay, in terms of like calorie wise, okay? So all that put together lends itself to weight gain. So you can end up with a tremendous amount of weight gain. And this perspective is only from the perspective of consumption and just input and output, not taken into consideration things when people have medical issues and stuff like that. Okay. Um, Psychological issues definitely were playing a huge part of it for me. And so I definitely needed to work on that aspect. But along with that was the input and the output, the consumption and the lack of activity or consistent activity. So I began to struggle with my weight very early in my 20s. And at one point, it had gotten so that I was just completely discouraged. I was discouraged. This is a really long story, so I'm going to leave a lot out, but I was really discouraged after trying a lot of different things. I remember the lemonade diet. I remember the cabbage diet. Weight Watchers, I was very successful on. Shout out to Weight Watchers. I do think about y'all, okay? The only thing that I feel about Weight Watchers is realistically, I still need the discipline and the self control to make my own portions, okay? And I don't particularly care for microwaving my foods. I actually do not own a microwave. I have not had a microwave for 5 years, okay? I do not microwave my food. So I did all the things, I did Slim Fast, I did the diet pills that suppress your appetite, liquid only, things would only last but for so long because the honest to goodness truth for me, not speaking for everybody, but for me, sticking to something was difficult, and sticking to something that was realistic was difficult because who's going to drink liquids for the rest of their life? Come on, like seriously. Barring a medical situation, once you lose that weight and you start eating regular foods again, you're going to put the weight back on if you haven't changed your mindset and your habits. So it got to a point where there was an opportunity for me to have medical weight loss. And it was scary because to me, it was surgery that wasn't like a medical problem, but bariatric surgery is a legitimate medical aspect. Okay, so you get hospitalized after you have the surgery, and then there's aftercare and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. And in bariatric surgery, they do a procedure on your stomach to make it a lot smaller, and you consume less food. So I decided to go ahead and do that. And there were some rules to getting in the program. You had to lose a certain amount of weight or be at a certain weight before your surgery could get approved. And for me, that weight was 230 pounds. At the time that I started the option, I was 266 pounds. So I had to lose 36 pounds, and I did that with Weight Watchers. I felt full. I don't have any complaints about Weight Watchers. I mean, I don't know what the, evidence proves in terms of like the food and the packaging and the things that they have to put in it to preserve it for it to be a frozen meal. I don't have that information, so I'm not here to like say it's the best option, but I'm telling you, it worked for me. I got those 36 pounds off using Weight Watchers, and I felt like I was eating regular foods. So I got to my surgery date weight, and I had the surgery. So from 230, I got down as small as 155. Um, it took a while for the weight to all come off, but there were different things that I noticed about my body that happens when you have weight loss in that way. Um, my muscles, I can't even explain it, but like to touch myself, my muscles felt really weird underneath my skin because, I was consuming protein, but I wasn't working out. I was just losing weight. So my body was very soft and it was very saggy. Okay, very saggy. But I was down as low as 155. So I got to that point and I was pretty happy with that weight. I do know that a lot of people feel that that's quite slim, but I personally feel people should do what's best for them. And 155, 160, that was comfortable for me. When I started to gain a little bit of weight, which was poor behaviors that I'm not going to get into in this video, I will talk about all of that stuff in detail at another point. But pretty much, poor choices and poor behaviors will start to put the weight back on you. And so when people have bariatric procedures to lose weight, um, the forums and things that I used to be in, I would encourage people to really take it seriously when they have you going in to discuss your progress, when they have rules and regulations telling you what you should do and shouldn't do. Don't try to eat and drink at the same time. Don't consume alcohol. Um, Still watch what you eat. Don't graze all day. In other words, you eat at 9 and you feel the food, and then when you don't feel food at 11:30, you eat again, and then when you don't feel the food, you eat again at 1. Doing that, man, it was a combination of a lot of different things. I started to put the weight back on. But not until I would say I experienced a good maybe about 5 years of being a size that was recognizable to me because like I said, I wasn't overweight as a kid. So to be back at 150, 160, I felt like when I looked in the mirror that I saw myself again. But I started to put the weight back on, going through things, making poor choices, poor behavior, and here I am. I'm back at, well, consistently throughout the pandemic, I was 237. And now I am 225. And that's because I have been making some changes in my life. And I have been doing it from a completely different space that has nothing to do with the scale. It has nothing to do with fashion. And I'm not saying that I cannot wait to jump into some clothes, child. I am. But those are not my focus. My focus is how I feel. My focus is loving my body. And the conversation that I just had with reading The Body Keeps the Score, I started to realize how much I was looking at my body in such a superficial way. And it's so easy to do that in today's times and today's culture. Other people around you are looking at their bodies in superficial ways, so you do it too. They're looking at your body in superficial ways. How many of us have gotten around friends and family and they point out how you look different, where you look different, and all this other kind of stuff? So other people play somewhat of a part to how we're looking at our bodies. But as I'm reading this book, I'm realizing that my body remembers everything that I've gone through, the great times and the not great times. And when I say not great times, I'm talking about traumatic and tragic. And to put weight back on is a message. It's my body telling me something that I decide that I need to pay attention to. And so it became very important for me to get back in tune with my body in a spiritual connecting way and not a superficial weight loss, fashion, look at me, appearance kind of way, if that makes any sense. I love my body. I am not at the weight on a scale that I would like to be, but here's what I am. I am thankful that my body got me through all of the things that it has gotten me through. I am amazed when I reflect on my own history of my life. My body was there for me, and I was paying it no loving attention. In fact, I was very critical of my body. And I don't choose to look at my body with those eyes anymore. And one of my mentors encouraged us to look in the mirror at yourself. Like, not just look in the mirror and go, oh, I want to tuck this. I want to pull this up. I wish this was better. I hate that this is dangling. No, 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 not that. I encourage you to do the same. To sit in the mirror and look at your body and love your body for what it has done for you. I'm a mom, so my body has given birth to my children, but it has done more for me than that. And when I think about all those things, my body deserves love. My body deserves respect. My body deserves attention. My body deserves care. My body deserves protection. My body deserves to be nourished. It needs to be hydrated. It needs to be active. And it needs to be consistent. And that's very different from just getting a bariatric appointment and losing weight and not changing your mind, or doing a lemonade diet or a cabbage diet or a keto and an Atkins. Girl, I can name them all, child. At the end of the day, what is really underneath all of this trying to get somewhere with weight management is a body that wants to be listened to, loved, appreciated, acknowledged, honored, respected, protected. And I have to do that. And so in my accountability group, I have shared that I am back on this. And the reason why I share it is because in my mind, right now, today, I feel discouraged. The last time I lost so much weight, I had help. I'm not going to have that kind of help this time. I have to show myself accountability. I have to show myself commitment. I have to show myself consistency. I have to be disciplined. I have to do it myself for real this time. And every day I have to ask myself if the choice that I am making brings me toward that goal or away from that goal. Thank you, Cassidy, because she just gave me that, so I had to use it because it's going to be very powerful in what I'm about to do. If it's going to get me towards my goal or away from my goal. Now, I've been thinking about some milk chocolate chip cookies with walnuts in it from Mrs. Fields. And usually, I think of all the things that I want to eat before I get it together because it's Sunday or a new month or the first. We have got to get away from that. We have to start realizing these messages that we're getting from our bodies, from our minds, paying attention to them and acting on them right away. Not a robot, you're not going to be constant, but you can be consistent. And over time, consistency really pays off. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you could get something from it. If you are on a weight management journey, please share your feelings, comments, tips below. And let's check in with each other. Let's see where we're at. The first thing we need to do is start off with a plan. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not leaving out of this year with this same weight. But not only that, I am going to develop the best relationship with my body that I've ever had. And that really is the success. That's really the prize. That's really the goal. That's all I had to say for today. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.